Hi everybody. This is another great video. Hungary has officially banned the Rothschild Bank in its country. This is absolutely amazing. Another one basically got the idea, and they're finally starting to learn what financial terrorists these guys actually are. Hungary becomes first European country to ban the Rothschild Bank, or banks. Ladies and gentlemen, when I use the term financial terrorist, I am in no way, shape, or form meaning it in a type of wording that should not be applied. These people have been a family who have been committing financial terrorism in this world since probably before recorded time. Hungary has become the first European country to officially ban all Rothschild banks from operating in the country. This started off in 2013. Hungary began process of kicking out International Monetary Fund, IMF, and agreed to repay the IMF bailout in full in order to rid the country of the New World Order banking cartel. Now, do we know officially 100%? Absolutely not, but this story seems at least moderately legitimate. A kindly worded letter by Yoguri Malagaski, head of Hungary's central bank, asked the managing director, Christine Lagarde, of the International Monetary Fund, as some have fondly nicknamed too close to the office, as it was necessary to maintain it any longer. Prime Minister Viktor Orban, which I have mentioned on several instances, seemed keen to ease off austerity measures and prove that the country could go it alone. It in fact issued its first bond in 2011, borrowing off the global markets. So it did this, folks. The United States, Canada, Germany, the rest can follow in its footsteps. Hungary borrowed 20 billion euros loan to avoid becoming insolent during the economic crisis in 2008. But the debtor relationship has not been smooth sailing. Of course not. You're going against one of the richest and most powerful institutions there are. Of course, there's going to be humongous amounts of hiccups. Many criticize Prime Minister as making an ill-advised decision in order to win the election, which was due in 2014. So now we're getting up to where this is becoming more current. He also wanted to refrain from having too many foreign eyes on the economic policies, as many reforms criticized as being undemocratic. Paying the loan back early has meant Hungary has saved 11.7 million euros worth of interest expenses, but Gordon Bajnai, leader of the electorate Alliance's E14 PM, proclaimed that they had actually lost 44.86 million euros by March of 2014 because of the early repayment, as they did was repayment, as all they did was replace the loan from the International Mafia Federation, another nickname for the IMF, with a more expensive one, labeling the stunt as propaganda, which no doubt the Rothschilds are probably running in the background. Let's be honest, these guys could not kick these guys out, I don't believe, without turning their country inside out. But let's go in and say they actually did it. Many have claimed that the IMF, aka imposing misery and famine, are owned by the Rothschild Group, the biggest banking group in the world, having the fingers in almost every central bank in the world and national bank, because I do believe there's a difference between a central and national bank, even though they own probably both. This means that not only do they make money off the usurious interest rates at the misfortunate crumbling economies, as they always will, They also literally own governments and people of power. I mean, they have considerable influence. We all know that. So basically, in 2014, Hungary paid back its 400 million euro loan ahead of schedule after the collapse of the banking sector in 2008, and Russia, of course, bowing down to Western puppeteers, freed itself in 2005 ahead of these guys, supposedly. So you can see it here first, folks. I mean, this is absolutely true. Now, question becomes, are they really freed, or do they have it under another name and these guys are running it through some kind of puppeteer group where they're just basically being sidelined because if there's no major revolution or anything else, I highly doubt that they're completely free of them, but again, who knows. The return of these three countries to financial independence has been said to be the first time a European country has stood up against the International Fund since Germany did so in the 1930s. Hint, hint, nod, nod, wink, wink. We understand what happened in the 1930s, and we probably know why it happened now. That's a big piece of history, isn't it, folks? Hitler went against the IMF and the Rothschilds. Because who did he have backing him? The Vatican. Greece is anxiously trying to make payment, but missing them as well as all stand in the same sidelines, rooting for them to stick two fingers up to the basically international MF. So you get it here, folks. Looks like Hungary actually supposedly bans Rothschild Bank or all its banking systems. So this looks like it's at least as true as you and I are going to find out.